This video is brought to you by Skillshare. Drawing and making art can be easy, but most of the time it's not.
What?
If you're one of those people that said at the start of this year that you're gonna really lock in and improve your drawing, yet you're feeling a bit stuck, you're facing art block, you can't find your style, you don't like your art, you've come to the right place. So my name is Shrimpy and I've been a professional artist and YouTuber for almost 7 years now. And over that time, no way I had one of these intros. But over that time, I've learned a lot about not only making art, but the mindset that you need to have to be a strong artist. So today, I'm going to be going through 21 of the best art tips that I learned over my time of being an artist, so that this year, you're actually going to improve your art. Tip number 1.
You don't have to be a pro right now.
Let me explain. Very often I see artists get really frustrated and upset with their art because it doesn't look like the professional artist that they look up to. But in reality, every professional artist was also once a noob as well. It's kind of like being upset that you can't beat the level 100 boss in the video game where you literally just started. So learn to enjoy the process of learning and slowly improving your own art, because remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Actually try new things. The most common thing I see beginner artists fall into the habit of is drawing the same thing over and over again. This could be only drawing anime characters, only drawing doodle art, basically only drawing in the same one style. But the problem with this is that it really limits your art progress and the amount of things that you're able to draw.
It's kind of like going to the gym and only working upper body. Trust me, you don't want to do this.
So make sure that every now and then you're stepping out of your comfort zone and trying something new so that you unlock your full artist potential.
And here's a bunch of things you can try. Now, if you're ever experiencing art block, just draw the things you like. What's your favorite movie? Spider-Man? Boom! Unlimited inspiration. What's your favorite sport? Basketball? Boom! Unlimited inspiration. Favorite food? Favorite animal? Favorite place?
The point is, you don't have to stress over finding the perfect idea or concept for a drawing, as sometimes inspiration is literally right in front of you.
What's your favorite thing to do when...
But if you're an artist that doesn't just want to draw fan art of existing characters and you want to make something a little more original, I got a tip just for you a little later on.
Tip number 4.
Actually study and practice the areas of art that you aren't that good at. Oh yeah, I'm talking about hands.
Tip number 5. A lot of artists will tell you to study art, but just saying to study something seems kinda unclear and broad. How do you actually study art? This was something I was also really confused about when I first tried learning anatomy. It felt like I was just drawing these random pointless sketches, but the truth is, every one of these drawings helped me get to where I am now. Studying art is literally the process of doing a bit of research, applying it, finding a couple references, trying it. Ooh, that kind of rhymed. And if you see an area in your drawing that consistently looks bad, lock in and do some studying on that specific area. Now, on the topic of studying, only study 1 or 2 things at a time or you will explode. A big mistake that I see artists who are trying to improve make is that they'll go and watch all these different art tutorials online, and then they'll either feel overwhelmed or they'll try to apply it all at once and wonder why it didn't work. But doing this is kind of like attempting a test in school without applying any of the knowledge and doing any of the worksheets. So I reckon it's best to pick 1 or 2 things you want to get better at and actually spend some time working on them before moving on to the next thing. Make some specific goals for yourself. Let me explain. If 2 artists walked into a room and one had a goal of getting better at art and the other had a goal of being able to draw faces with accurate proportions by drawing every day for 10 minutes for a week,
which artist do you reckon will have a more focused study? Okay, that was a little bit of an exaggerated example, but the point is, try to set specific things that you want to improve on in your art, as by giving yourself a clear path and a clear goal, it makes it way more likely that you'll complete that side quest. And I'm talking to you.
Wait, what? Me? What?
To make sure you actually improve your art this year, right now, I want you to write down at least 2 things, that's 1. 2 things you want to improve on in your art, whether it be eyes, faces, anatomy, or even coloring, and set yourself a time frame too. So whether it's 10 minutes a day for a week, 1 hour a day for a week, whatever's comfortable for you. So write that down right now. I'm waiting. Okay, nice. And after this video is done, actually start working on that goal, or I will steal your fridge. Now those were some pretty serious art tips, so now let's move on to some tips about art supplies. Starting off with what are you doing in there?
If you love watching artists on social media make these epic marker drawings, but you have no idea what all the different marker types are, I got you. Alcohol markers like Copic and Ohuhu are the ones that allow you to blend and layer colors on top of each other, creating these beautiful smooth effects. Water-based markers cannot do this. I do not like them. Paint markers like Posca and Artex are the super satisfying ones that can paint right over each other because they're paint-based, and artworks made with them look like this, but you can't really blend them either. So with that information, the choice is yours. If you're thinking of buying some Ohuhu markers, this is the most important piece of information you'll ever hear. At first glance, it may look like all these wonderful markers are all the same, but did you notice it? There are actually different models of Ohuhu markers, with each having different combinations of nibs, which are the shapes at the end of the markers.
So when buying markers, make sure to check what nib they have.
The ones I have are the Ohuhu Honolulu series. Yes, that's actually their name. Good paper is just as important as good markers. Even if you get some beautiful Ohuhu markers, if you use them on regular printing paper, they'll bleed a lot more, appear darker, and potentially stain your table. So I highly recommend using paper or sketchbooks that are specifically made for markers. And all the sketchbooks I use are in the description if you want to check them out. When picking the right fine liner to use with markers, make sure to use pigment-based fine liners. The reason for this is that they don't smudge when you use them with markers. See, when I color over the pigment-based lines it doesn't smudge, but when I try on the non-pigment lines... I found this out the hard way. Tip number 12. If you got your hands on some markers but whenever you try and color in an area, it looks all streaky and gross, this tip is going to change your life. Because alcohol marker ink is slightly transparent, you're not going to be able to get the full color of the marker in one layer. That's why you need to apply 2 to 3 layers in order to get that smooth finish. And after adding a couple more layers on this drawing, look how good it came out. Damn, oh, that's so cool. If you've been pressing too hard while using your Ohuhu markers and your nib is starting to get damaged, did you know that Ohuhu markers actually have a reversible nib? No way, it's better pull the nib. What if it breaks? What if it... Oh, that was easy. But behold, Ohuhu's genius idea to have a double-sided nib. My mind literally exploded when I found this out.
Okay, those were some pretty cool art supply tips, but it's now time for the most important tips of this video.
For the last 8 tips of the video, we're gonna get serious again and talk about some super important art mindset tips.
Because not gonna lie, nobody warned me about these things when I decided to pursue art as my career. And knowing them earlier would have saved me so much stress and uncertainty, especially at the beginning stages of my art career. So put your serious face on, get some snacks ready, and
let's begin. You don't need a huge art collection to make amazing art. Too often I see artists get discouraged because they only have a couple simple art supplies, while the pros have these insane collections of art supplies and all the fancy expensive materials. But the truth is, you can literally become an art god with just a pencil and an eraser. With just a pencil you can master almost every aspect of art except for coloring. So don't let a lack of art supplies hold you back from practicing and improving, because I believe in you. You got this. Tip 13.
Surround yourself with other artists.
Some people will tell you that being an artist is the lonely and quiet career path where you're always by yourself. But it doesn't have to be that way. Joining an online or in real life art community can be a great way to meet other people who are also passionate about art and to just have a place to share your art. You can post your art and get feedback, chill in the voice call while you draw, and just get inspired by other artists.
And if this sounds like something you want to join but you just don't know where to do it, I got you.
Because you can join my art Discord server with 20,000 artists. The community is absolutely amazing.
Oh my gosh.
W, Shrimpy.
Now, I've talked a lot about studying throughout this video, but even with all the tips I've given out so far, studying things like art theory, color theory, and anatomy can still be really difficult if you've never done it before, which is why this video is brought to you by Skillshare.
I'm sure you've all heard of Skillshare. It's the largest online learning community for creators with thousands of classes led by industry experts across film, illustration, design, and of course, art. But why am I talking about this as one of the tips?
Well, it's because me and Skillshare have teamed up to give you guys a whole free month of their platform, giving you guys access to professional step-by-step tutorials on literally all the art fundamentals, completely for free. See, look at this.
You can learn anatomy with Draw with Jazza, learn to draw anime with Scott Harris, learn color theory with Brooke Glazer, and the list goes on.
So if you're one of the first 500 people to click the link in the description, that will let you claim your 1 month free trial of Skillshare. And doing this will also put you ahead of all the other lazy artists who couldn't be bothered sitting down and learning the art fundamentals.
So many artists will tell you to use references, but what does that actually mean? Using references in art is the act of using an existing artwork or photo to help you guide you in making your own, and doing this is the best way in the universe of art to get better. Yes, it's cool to draw from imagination, but if you're starting out, relying on only your imagination is trying to cook a fancy dish without reading the recipe. Long story short, it's probably not going to turn out how you want it to. So while learning how to draw, use as many references as you can, so that later on you can actually draw without them. Some artists online will say that you need to grind, and post non-stop every day to improve. But I can tell you from first-hand experience that this isn't always the case. Yes, it's really important to draw, practice, and try new things in drawing, but it's also really important to take breaks. Because after all, your mental health and well-being is the most important thing. If you draw too much and don't take any time to eat, drink, or relax, you'll burn out and feel exhausted, which shouldn't be how you feel after drawing. Drawing is meant to be a fun, relaxing, and healthy activity, so make sure you find a healthy balance between working hard and studying your art, and also having breaks, eating, drinking, and of course, sleeping. While my last tip was about taking breaks and staying happy, sometimes you just gotta draw. Don't let that voice in your head tell you that you need 10 more minutes of TikTok time. Don't let it tell you that drawing hands is too hard. Sometimes you really just need to start even when you don't feel like it, and put in the reps of studying and failing over and over again until you see the results. Because if you only draw when you have a random burst of motivation, or when you sort of feel like it, or you get a random good idea, how are you actually gonna improve? So if you actually want to get good at drawing, sometimes you're just gonna have to count down from 3 and start drawing, no matter how hard it is, no matter how much you don't feel like it. It's gonna be hard, but you got this. Not every one of your drawings have to be perfect, and neither does every page of your sketchbook. I recently learned that it's really important to be okay with being bad and failing. Failure is a good thing because it means you were brave and you tried something you weren't good at. It doesn't mean you're doomed and can't learn it, because if you fail something and get back up and try it again and again until it finally works, you have my utmost respect. At the end of the day, we all draw because we love drawing. I really believe that as long as you have that strong passion and that spark to create something beautiful on this piece of paper, and you have that constant drive to become the best artist you can possibly be, so that one day you can turn any of your craziest ideas into a beautiful artwork, you will be amazing. So just be patient and know that it's going to take time. Be kind to yourself and just enjoy drawing. Everyone say something you want to be in the video in 3, 2, 1, go.